Okay, this is reading log number 8. We were asked to choose a book that won a Siebert Medal. I chose the book that won the Siebert Medal in 2008 entitled The Wall, Growing Up Behind the Iron Curtain. This book was written and illustrated by Peter Seiss, and it was published by Francis Foster Books, or Farrar, Straus and Giroux, and it was copyrighted in 2007. It is an autobiography / nonfiction book with 56 pages that is good for children ages 8 and above, or 3rd grade and above. And again, this won the Siebert Medal in 2008. This book is a story about, it's an autobiography because it follows the life of Peter Seiss as he grew up behind the Iron Curtain. It starts off with a very good introduction that gives the reader background knowledge over how the Iron Curtain in this communist regime started. And then it ends with personal reflection by Peter Seiss about what this was like and how he was able to write this book. This book starts off talking about Peter Seiss as a boy and his love of drawing. He loved to draw. He was able to freely draw at home. And then when he got to school, he began to draw the things that were expected of him, that he was told to draw. And he describes this as being the period of brainwashing, and reflects on how it was easy to be brainwashed as a child, how they just kind of went about trying to brainwash children to do what they needed. At one point, the barriers and the restrictions on media and things start to lessen, and he begins to get exposed to Western culture. He gets exposed to bands, his favorite being the Beatles. And through this, he begins to start to freely express himself again in the way that he wants to be. He starts to draw, he starts to paint, he starts to freely express himself as a person versus what he was taught to do. And so he begins to feel like a person. During this time, anything begins to feel possible. It's about 1968. Czechoslovakia is starting to kind of push back against this communist regime and start to allow some independence. However, shortly after that, the Soviet Union comes in and really kind of pushes back, and they start to very seriously restructure and restrict what people are allowed to do anymore. And at this point, Peter Seiss and other people from this time begin to not be able to do what they enjoyed anymore. They're very restricted. Doing anything other than what the communist regime is in the Soviet Union is telling them to do can cause their death or them to be imprisoned for the rest of their lives. And so at this point, he's left. He can't draw anymore. He's just left dreaming. He can dream. It's the only safe way for him to express what he wants. He's left to just dream and go through how horrible this time is. People still kind of retain hope, but very quietly and secretly, just left to dream and hoping that this is going to end. And then in the end, November 9th, 1989, the wall fell, communism fell in this area, and people were able to have the freedom that they wanted. The illustrations in this book are very important. The illustrations, it's almost graphic novel-like, are very important. They pull the story along. They continue to make the story flow and provide a lot of valuable input and information that are not portrayed in words. So the illustrations are black and white pencil drawings with pops of red that illustrate, like here, pops of red throughout the black and gray that illustrate the communism. The red illustrates communism. There are also some color pictures in here, and these color pictures, here's another illustration of the red portraying communism. The colored pictures, the colored images, are used primarily when feelings of hope, freedom are portrayed. Like here is an image of 1968 when everyone was feeling like things were going their way. And so again, these are very important in this story. Why is this a good book for children? It shows history, but it also shows a young child as he grows up in a very hopeless and sad situation, maintaining hope and independence for something greater. So it's a good story for children to understand that if things are bad, they can get better. Why do I relate? I relate with the struggle of finding your voice and your independence and voicing your opinion through that. For an activity, students, because this is very picture-led, students can illustrate an important part of their day and illustrate without words an important moment in their day or a week. Thank you.